Hi guys, VNG here. I am going to do a short dynamic delay guide on how to add dynamic delay to your Twitch stream. I haven't got anything prepared for it, so I'm sorry if there will be some gibberish or some messing around here, but hopefully you will be able to add your own dynamic delay in the end of this video. What you need is your Streamlabs OBS, you need OBS Studio, and you need a Stream Deck if everything should be perfect. Personally, I use the Streamlabs OBS when I'm streaming on Twitch, and I do so because there's a lot of functionalities in the Streamlabs version that I prefer over the Studio version. I do know that there's a high demand on your computer when you use the Streamlabs version, and therefore many of you might be using OBS Studio, the old one, so to speak, and that's perfectly fine. I'm pretty sure you can use this guide anyways. Just reverse some of the things that I say and do it in a different order than I show it, and you'll still be able to add dynamic delay to your stream. So let's jump into it. Let's see how the whole setup is done. Okay guys, let's dive right into it. I think we need to look at the basics in the beginning here, because the way that I found out how to do this was watching a guide on how to do it, kind of understanding the basic layers of it and finding my own way to do it, because the solution that I found needed 2 cameras, for instance, and I didn't want to mess around with that. So I found this solution as well. I think that if you want it to be as clean as mine is, you definitely need that Stream Deck, the hardware, the software, enabled to do it in the same fashion. But I'll show you the basics here, and afterwards I will go through the OBS Studio, the Streamlabs, and in the end the Stream Deck solution, and I'll show you how the delay looks on my streaming. So hopefully you can get your dynamic delay working as well. I've tried to make something creative here, and I know it's very simple, but basically dynamic delay is very simple in terms of what is the underlying things here. Imagine you're broadcasting live. I'm doing it on Streamlabs OBS. You can twitch this around if you use the Studio version. I'm broadcasting live. I want to add delay. What I do, and I'll show you later in steps, is that I kind of add a adding delay scene to my broadcasting studio. So the viewers see that's for 30 seconds. Afterwards, or in the same time, meanwhile that's running, I start OBS Studio and make that record the exact same scenes, the exact same look that I already had running on my Streamlabs. So whenever that has been running for 30 seconds, if you choose the right file format, you can start watching that. It's very important that you use the right file format in terms of being able to broadcast it 30 seconds later. So whenever the scene that is adding delay on my Streamlabs is done, then I'll be broadcasting the OBS Studio recording 30 seconds later. So I have a 30 seconds delayment, basically. So that's kind of the basics of it. And let's try to look inside the engine of, let's say, the Studio version, which should be here. Normally this will be set to a scene called off, because I don't want it to mess with anything. So there's nothing in here. Everything is turned off, as you can see. And that allows me to fully have anything running on my Streamlabs OBS, which is the one I Twitch stream from mainly. This is the scene that I need. Now you can see me. This is live, obviously, but that makes sense, because what I use in the OBS Studio is basically just to record things. You can see I've set some things up. That kind of image is the same thing that I will be using in-game on my Streamlabs. And whenever this records and it fades over, it will look the same for the audience out there, but it will be 30 seconds delayed. So far, so good. You don't need to do anything here except create a copy of whatever scene you want to be delayed on your mainstream software. So that was the first step. That was the OBS Studio part. That's the recording part, so to speak. Let's jump into the Streamlabs OBS, which is the software that I use mainly to stream on Twitch, and see what we got going on in there. Here we see the outgame scene, which is the scene that I use when I'm out the game, and you see a bunch of scenes over here. Don't get confused by that. What I do use is whenever I activate my dynamic delay, it will go over to the scene called adding delay, which is basically, and I'll show it in a minute, but it's basically just a a scene that has a 30-second media something going on that's telling people that we're adding delay right now, wait for it, and then afterwards when that's done, it will jump to the scene called full. The full is a recording, it's the recording that we just set up in Streamlabs Studio. So and it would just run that 30 seconds later when, in terms of how and when the recording was actually done. So that's kind of what makes the dynamic delay function. As you can see here, this is a video of me babbling away. Hopefully it's muted, which it is. So basically I would start here. I would push my button on Stream Deck to add the dynamic delay. I'll show you that in a second. It will jump down to adding delay, which is a bit of music here. I'm sorry if it's too loud. And it will jump over to this afterwards, which is a delayed stream. It's a delayed video file. And that's basically it. And I have a button that jumps back to that. And the buttons that I'm talking about is done in the Stream Deck. So let's go over to that, because hopefully when you see the Stream Deck and how I build things up, you will understand, or at least I'll try my best to explain to you how I set it up. But just of having the basic understanding that we're trying to get here, I'm pretty sure that you will figure it out as well. So let's head into the Stream Deck where everything happens. This is the main view of my Stream Deck software, and if we go into the Twitch folder and the delay folder, you see two sets of delay setups here: a add delay, delay off, and a ES Portal delay, ES Portal delay off. And that's because you've used different scenes from that. So you need an add delay and you need a delay off. That's basically it. The buttons here is a multi-action button, and it consists of 13 actions on the delay adding and 12 actions on the removing the delay afterwards. But let's jump into it. This is done because otherwise you have to do this manually. As I said earlier, this will also have influence on you needing to have two cameras. When you do it like this in the Stream Deck, you just have to push one button and the cam works on both. But you said OBS softwares, so that's kind of a good thing. In here you can see I'll try to walk you through it, maybe to enhance the understanding of what we're trying to do here. First off, you can see me adding the delay scene. We've seen that before. That's the ticker that goes, the media source that kind of adds the 30 seconds. Call it the waiting screen. Then we turn off the mic and we turn off the sounds in Streamlabs OBS, that being the Streamlabs that is streaming. We do that because we don't want anything going through live anymore. Then we go into the OBS Studio, which is supposed to be recording, and we turn off the anti-cam, which is a webcam I have, and my main cam off. Then we have a delay of just 100 milliseconds, doesn't really matter, and then we turn the cam on again. And this is what allows us to use the same cam, because Windows is kind of screwed when it comes to having two software utilizing the same unit. So in this fashion, we make sure that Streamlabs is not using the cam anymore because we changed the scenes up in the front, and we make sure that we say OBS Studio is kind of refreshing the idea of using the cam. So we turn it off and we turn it on again after a delay. Then we change the scenes, we turn on the mic, we turn on the sounds, and we start recording with Studio. And then after that, we ask the Stream Deck to wait about 30 seconds, and whenever the 30 seconds is done, that kind of mimics up when the waiting screen is done, and then it makes Streamlabs, which is streaming still to Twitch, go to the full screen scene, which is the scene that is showing the recording that the OBS Studio is creating. Oh, that's basically it. And vice versa in the version here where we are removing delay. Again, we're stopping the recording, we're turning off the sounds of the studio version, we're changing the scenes, we're adding a delay. The delay is basically there to ensure that the people viewing it is getting everything you set and yeah, stuff like that. Then the turning off the cams, allowing the Streamlabs to use the cams in a minute, and we're turning on sounds again in Streamlabs OBS to ensure that we have live sounds through. Again, a small delay, a change of scenes, and bam, Bob's your uncle. We're live again. So let's just finish off with showcasing how the delay looks from the viewer's perspective. If I push my add delay button here on my stream deck, this is what you see. Whatever I say, whatever I do here, if I open this PowerPoint up and I close it down, I move my mouse around, I talk a lot, yada yada yada, this is all coming back to you delayed. I'm talking while you are currently watching the adding delay function. So when you're watching this, this is not live, this is 30 seconds delayed, and that's kind of the function here. So right now I can push the delay off, and yeah, you will see it live again in 30 seconds. So see you there. And we're back. We're live again. Woo! And that's how it works. It's very simple. Stream Deck makes it even more simple and even more automatically done. And that's basically it. So rewatch the video if you haven't fully understand it. Leave a comment if you want to know something that I haven't covered in the video. Please subscribe. I'll make sure to make more videos both on Counter-Strike but also on how to stream, how to set up things I've learned over the last year or so, or something else. Just subscribe, do it, man, do it, and add that delay to your stream and win some more matches. That's basically it.